Now I know what this looks like, but I swear I'm not addicted. It's not my fault Konami keeps releasing a bunch of art types that just happen to have synergy with Orcust. I may have a problem. So what exactly are we doing for my 9th Orcust video? Well, a lot of you guys probably saw this coming with the recent changes to the Shaddoll skill, allowing it to be paired with basically any art type that you feel like, and considering Shaddoll, generally speaking, likes dark monsters, and Orcust happen to be dark monsters. And that's just about all the synergy these art types have. But hey, that's enough of an excuse for me to make a video on it, so let me go get my fix. So here's today's deck list. Now just a reminder before getting to the deck list, if you guys are enjoying today's video and want to see some more content just like this in the future, especially if you're a returning viewer, so apparently about 35% who are watching this are even subscribed to the channel, being 65% of you haven't even subscribed yet. So if you guys are enjoying this kind of content, want to see some more deck lists from me in the future, more videos from me in the future, remember to like on this video and consider subscribing to the channel down below. Alright, let's jump into this deck list. Alright, so I'm not going to spend too much time talking about the deck list in this video, as obviously if I still have to explain to you how Orcust works after the 9th upload, maybe go try playing Uno instead, as this game might not be for you. But anyway, what I will be talking about with this deck list is essentially the ratios and why I chose to run certain cards. So with this deck we're playing over 20 cards. The reason for that is, of course, with Orcust, there's a few cards you don't really want to open in your opening hand, you prefer to just put them in the graveyard later on. And of course we're playing 80 Changer as well, and you've got your World Legacy Wand. All these cards you just don't want in your opening hand, you want to keep them in the deck list. So playing just over 20 means we can play more starters, which we'll see more often, and see less of these cards that are just sort of bricky. It's not too bad if you open just one of these Orcust monsters in your hand, as you can always just fuse them away to just get them out of your hand whenever you like, but opening multiple Orcust cards feels generally pretty awful, so playing over 20 because that just feels a lot better. And there's plenty of starters in this deck list anyway, so you're not really losing consistency. Of course, your Wendi plus any Shaddoll in hand is a starter, your Hedgehog plus any Shaddoll in hand is a starter, there's plenty of starters if you have fusion spells to use Squamata, and of course your Shaddoll Fusion is also basically a starter going second, and we're also playing Krawler Dendrite, who you can completely ignore the entirety of this card's effect. All you need to know is, for effect, you can send one monster from your deck to the graveyard. So, turn 1, put this thing on the field, activate your trap card in the graveyard, put this thing face up, send an Orcust monster to the graveyard for full Orcust combo, or you can send Shaddoll cards to the graveyard to trigger their various effects as well. So, very sort of simple deck list, but at the same time, there's actually a little bit, I know I'm sort of made fun of it earlier, but there is quite a bit of synergy between these two art types in just putting Orcust cards in the graveyard gives this deck so much follow-up, potentially for later on, and you can do sort of various Orcust combos, even through summoning your own Winder, because you can just use your Winder, put it in the extra monster zone, and link it off, and then you can go for full Orcust combo anyway, so you'll see during the gameplay, it's a lot stronger as a combination than it might sound in theory, but yeah, it's a pretty fun deck list, so go check it out for yourself, and without further ado, let's go check out some gameplay. Alright, so I've saved 6 replays to share with you guys, and honestly, I recorded these quite a few hours ago, so I've kind of forgotten which ones are which and what gameplays I actually have, so this might be a bit of a surprise for me as well, so let's get into it. I do know some of these replays were absolute bangers though, as this deck has a lot of cool combos you can do with it, so yeah, hopefully you enjoy. It was certainly a lot of fun to gather these replays. I do enjoy a bit of Orcust. I'm sure you guys are well aware of that by now. Alright. Of course, repping the Cyber Angel sleeves and the Cyber Angel character.
Duel.
And starting off with a Mirror Match. Alright, so return, gonna be drawing some cards. Starting off by turning this card into a light monster, that way we can fuse straight into our Shaddoll Construct, and that is the reason we're playing this card, by the way, is just to make a light monster. Alright, sending 2 cards to the graveyard, getting a flip monster on the field that we can use during our opponent's turn with the trap card to get over our opponent's stuff. Making our gravity controller, and of course going back our Schism we just put in the graveyard. Alright, we're ready to go. Activate Shaddoll Fusion, we're of course going to chain to that, that way this is the only special summon he gets for the turn unless he removes the Winder. Alright. He's going to be drawing a card, sending a card to the graveyard. I actually have lost so many mirror matches, not with this particular deck list, but I was just trying out pure Shaddoll earlier, just messing around. I was losing so many mirrors, I'm not particularly sure what the best sort of opener is against Shaddoll, or what you're meant to sort of be doing. It might even be favored going second, I don't know, but it's definitely a hard matchup. Alright, I'm going to take my trap card to get rid of his face down, or at least force it out now. He's going to remove my monster, I'm going to remove his in response. And that just about ends his turn, provided he doesn't have another fusion spell to use. Alright, Schism going to be reviving out another construct. Popping his monster or sending it to the graveyard. Beast getting a search, Incarnation, flipping my Dendrite, sending another Orcust card, or our first Orcust card. He's going to overroot it. But that's fine, because now we've got all the disruption, we can get rid of our entire field, make a Knightmare Unicorn. This is our construct to add back our fusion spell, and that is going to be lethal in hand. Alright, and he's going to concede. Alright, so you got good use out of Orcust that time, just to bait out your opponent's back row. Didn't quite get to go into any of the Orcust monsters, but very good way to bait out the opponent's back row there. Good use of Dendrite too. It's kind of fun to use really old cards, or cards that just like never see any play, just because there's some random skill updates just made it so it's like, oh, this card's just randomly playable now. Just some random ass Krawler monster from 20 decades ago. Alright. So up against Sushib. This game was close actually. This guy could have won if he drew just like slightly better. Because he opened a pretty good turn 1 hand anyway. He had like 2 back row and this card, which is kind of annoying. So return, we'll be discarding, drawing some cards. Incarnation, gonna be flipping face up. He's gonna be negating me, which is a little bit annoying, but doesn't end our turn necessarily. Special summoning out, these two becoming your Automaton. He has another negate for that. God, negating that feels so bad too. I don't know. It seems like a bad use of his negate spell. He's lucky I had no fusion spells in hand, or he actually would have just died this turn. Evening Star sending his cards to the graveyard and chilling on my my one Dingirsu over here, hoping it's enough. Sorry, I got something caught my throat. Alright, so yeah, another Gunkan Sushib. Thankfully though, he wasn't able to make another rank 4, I just would have died. So he can of course just negate the Dingirsu whenever he feels like. If I can't open a fusion spell, he can't open a way for another rank 4 here, it's only fair. Alright, speaking of fusion spell though, I'm going for a construct. Beast giving us a draw, construct sending to the graveyard, and he is very dead looking. Oh yeah, he's dead looking. 80 changer, flipping it face up, removing his card. And he is conceding. Alright, on to our next replay. Yeah, I definitely don't think this deck list is better than pure Shaddoll by any means, but it's certainly more fun to me anyway. Alright. Yeah, the synergy isn't that insane that it's worth playing over pure. But if you're somebody that likes playing Orcust, you should definitely check it out. Alright, up against a Ring Dragon of Ra player. Which is actually kind of good, because we've got some decent non-target removal when we're playing Orcust monsters. He's playing the Magistus stuff, or just some card drawy stuff. So he's Ball in the graveyard. Tree God searching for the Revelation. Grabbing a Monster Reborn. Reviving the Ra so we can turn it into a copy of his Phoenix, before finally ending on the Sphere. The Bowl. Alright, flipping my monster face up, sending my Shaddoll to the graveyard, so I can special summon out. Basically, I just wanted a Shaddoll card so we can use my fusion spell. Feeding into a Winter. And here's what I was talking about at the end of the decklist portion, where it looks like here you've locked yourself out of doing stuff for the rest of the turn, but just like with the other fusion monster, if you got it in the extra monster zone, you can just link it away. So probably his back row so we can now actually attack for the turn, link this thing away so we can keep playing, making sure to put the link arrow here specifically, quite important with this deck list, considering this thing cannot be used as link material on the turn it is link summoned. So you want to summon this thing out, and you want to make sure the arrow is pointing downwards if you can, otherwise you won't be able to link summon for the rest of the turn. Alright, now we're going to lock ourselves into Dark. Summoning Automaton. Automaton going to be shuffling back in, grabbing the draw spell. Discard 2, drawing some cards. Knightmare going to be boosting the attack. Making the Evening Star. Alright. By the way, I'm not particularly sure whether or not I should actually be playing Babel. I think I didn't even use this like one time when testing this deck list. I think I was always searching for the draw spell basically every duel. I think this card might be better just as Super Poly, because Super Poly is a really strong card currently with all the mirror matches going on, so this or Super Poly, doesn't really matter which you choose, both are really good. Alright, swing it in, and he's gonzo. Mr. Ebola. Alright, 3 more to go. Alright, what was this guy playing? Oh, Blue Eyes, that would make sense. Alright, 3-game win streak. I think this win streak ended at 5 only, or 6. 1 to 2. Alright, so he's gonna be summoning out his Blue Eyes White Dragon. And I believe he has an Xyz summon too. I was praying to God he wouldn't summon out the really annoying Xyz monster that locks out a graveyard. Normally that card does absolutely nothing against Shaddoll, but if you just randomly predicted I was playing the Orcust variation, it would have been really annoying. But thankfully, he summons out a Felgrand, which I didn't even know they played either. That was a surprise to me, but anyway. Shaddoll Fusion, gonna be summoning out my Construct. Squamata, sending a card to the graveyard. And then he goes for a negate, but targets himself. He just wants this thing to just be unaffected for the turn, which is really odd, because I think this means he can't use his quick play spell anymore either. He was really heavily relying on the Crackdown I think he had back here. Which I think is why he did that. Tiny's back row. Thankfully we hit the Crackdown, the 1 and 3, thank God. It would have been a lot harder if we didn't get rid of this. Alright, 80 change flip him face up, so we can grab yet another fusion spell. Alright, making my Automaton. And my opponent just conceded. He had nothing else left, because obviously he can't use his quick play spell, because it just doesn't work that way, because his thing's unaffected, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, I guess the other back row just wasn't anything in particular. Alright. Up against a TG player. Now, I think this was a quick one. I think this is just me doing Shaddoll things, if I remember correctly. Alright, flip my own monster face up to grab my fusion spell. Linking off into my Moon Maiden so I can fuse using it. There's our Construct. Sending a couple to the graveyard. Wendi putting our monster on the field. Linking off once again into the Gravity Controller. Then passing the turn. Now TG is a really weird matchup because if you don't shotgun the window as soon as like physically possible, they can just special summon their. If they have the what's his face in hand, they just special summon himself when I have a monster on the field. Then he just normal summon, make a rank 5 that way, and things get really awkward. Or make the. I know some people are playing the rank 4 that can, or it's not rank, the Synchro 4 that can target my stuff and negate the effects of it. So it's a bit of a scary matchup. It's generally best to summon out the Shaddoll as quickly as possible. Also, a lot of them have Droplet as well, which makes Shaddoll or makes Winter pretty worthless anyway. But I still think it's worth just shotgun it as soon as physically possible. Just hope they don't have the Droplet in hand or the Chalice or whatever they're playing. Alright, there's the Striker. And he just concedes. We had 2 lots of disruption there anyway. We had Winder and we had a flip remove something, so it would be pretty hard for him to play that game without a Droplet. Alright, we're up to the final replay, I think. I think we're on the final one. Alright. Up against Playmaker. This guy was playing the Fusion Cyburst deck thing that's not as popular anymore, considering there's a new sort of Cyburst deck going around. Well, not even new anymore, just the untargetable thingo that people play. Alright. Summoning his Cock Wyvern. Making his Proxy. This guy has combos for quite a while, so we'll fast forward a little bit. Alright, turns everything into a Dark Dragon thing with the skill, makes his Borrowload Furious Dragon, and ends on an annoying Degrade Buster. So starting off with a Shaddoll Fusion, making a Construct, getting a draw off of the Beast, setting another card to graveyard. He banishes this card for some reason. I'm going to fuse in response, making another Construct, setting some more cards to the graveyard. Holy. We do be sending. He has an Effect Veiler in hand. Holy, the amount of cards though. Adding back to hand, still getting a special summon to the field, and still getting to flip my monster because we haven't normal summoned yet. Getting the Dendrite on the field, we can flip face up. Maybe change it from the other monster face up. Forcing out the Furious Dragon, who pops a card on the field. Harp Horror, summoning from the deck. Making Automaton. Going back to Shaddoll Fusion. Grabbing ourselves a nice little return for a couple more draws in a second if we like, though we already have lethal on field. Discarding, reviving, making Dingirsu. I like Orcust way too much, man. I really need to get myself a prismatic Dingirsu at some point. Hit him in the face, and he is donezo. Alright guys, that's going to do it for today's replays. Hope you guys enjoyed them. If you want to leave a like, subscribe, and that kind of stuff. And yeah, I promise this will definitely be the last Orcust video on this channel. 100%, just surely. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Hope you see you in the next one. Laters.
Hey, big brother, can I watch SpongeBob?
Shut up, Mokuba. I'm busy flagging YouTube videos to compensate for the fact that I have an extremely small penis.
Oh.